Εξομολογήστε το Κύριο ότι αγαθός, αλληλούια.
Ότι στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, αλληλούια.
You want to chat? Sorry? You're okay. Okay, fair enough. Have you got something to say? No? You just...
What do you think about Palestine?
What do I think about Palestine? I think that Palestine will be a healthier, safer country when Hamas is destroyed. I think that Palestine, I believe that Gaza should be free because Israel gave up its right to Gaza. Yeah, you remember when Israel unilaterally pulled out of Gaza? At that point, Israel gave up its rights to Gaza, and so at that point they admitted to the world that Gaza belongs to the Palestinians, and so I support the idea of a Palestinian independent state, but I don't support the idea of a terrorist state. I believe that Gaza is a terrorist state, and that it needs to be de-Islamified. The Islamists need to be removed, and that Israel should work with Palestinian and Jewish Christians inside of Israel to evangelize Gaza, to bring it to Christ, to de-radicalize it, but then once it has done so, to respect its autonomy and its freedom and its independence. As for the West Bank, I believe that Zionist settlers and extremists should be brought under control, that their criminal elements should be punished, but also that the Palestinian Authority should be forced to respect all the rights of Palestinian Christians who are often discriminated against by the Palestinian authorities, and that when Palestinian Christians have full and complete freedom to evangelize Palestinian Muslims without any form of harassment, then and only then Israel should give the Palestinian Authority full freedom and full independence.
What do you think about Palestine individually? Do you think they'll do well? Do you think they'll fare well?
I think if Palestine was governed by a Christian ethic and not an Islamist ethic, it would be. Because if you look at Gaza and look at how many tens of millions of pounds were just given to the Gazans over the last 20 years, they could have developed a very powerful, robust Mediterranean economy. But they didn't. Do you know why? Because Islamist radicals were more filled with hatred for Jewish people and for Israeli citizens than they were for love of their own Gazan citizens. Now, Christianity would make a difference, because Christianity, unlike Islam, works upon a principle of love, whereas Islam works upon a principle of hatred. And so, if the Gazans were governed by a Christian ethic, they would love their own people more than they hate the Jews. They would love their own people more than they hate the Israelis, and they would have spent that money not building a network of tunnels that went from one end of Gaza to the other, not spent that money on building endless amounts of missiles to launch into Gaza, not spent endless amount of money training people to commit horrible atrocities like they did on October the 7th, but to actually build a successful, peaceful Gazan economy that benefited the Gazan people. And the thing is, if they had done that, their case against security restrictions against Israel would have sounded louder in ears like mine. I would have been more sympathetic to the Gazans. But because the Gazans got in bed with Islamists, they have brought upon themselves the destruction that they're facing now. And until the Gazans free themselves from that hatred, they will continue to be judged for it.
You think judgment is fair?
Yes.
Because in each culture and tribe and clan, there's their own individual beliefs that are governed by God.
Yes.
So do you think that God is fair on all mankind as well?
Yes, that's exactly why Sharia is a load of rubbish. Because Sharia law doesn't treat everyone by the same law. It creates distinctions within law.
Sharia
Wait, hold on. There's only one truth, right? There's not multiple different truths. It's not like Islam is true for Muslims, Christianity is true for Christians, Judaism's true for Jews, right? Because by that logic, that means Hinduism's true for Hindus, and Baha'ism's true for Baha'is, and both me and you know that's nonsense.
Now go tell a Baha'i
Right.
that he's not a Baha'i, see what he says.
I talk to Baha'is all the time. I used to
What do
talk
they
to them. I tell them that
Are they
then,
friendly to you?
yeah, of course, they're much friendlier than the Muslims I meet in this park.
What do you talk to a Muslim?
What do I talk to a Muslim?
What do you talk to a Muslim about?
Anything that they want to talk about. You're talking to me about Israel and Palestine, and so I talk to you about
What do
Israel
you
and
dislike
Palestine.
about the world right now?
What do I many things about the world. You know, do you want a list? I've got a huge list of things that I dislike about the
Do you
world.
start with Muslims?
No, of course not. As a Christian, as an evangelist, I reach out to Muslims all the time, right? You can't reach out to people if you hate them, right? There's plenty of racists in this world who'll just go, you're not white, you don't belong here, and they won't even bother to try and talk to you. Let me finish, right? As a Christian, before I came to this park, I was sat having a cup of tea with a Muslim from Pakistan, right? And we were sat...
Do you hate Christians?
Let me finish. And we were sat having a chat. Do you know what? Let me finish. Let me finish. You've asked a question. It's incumbent upon you to listen to the answer. Don't rush to your agenda. Listen to the
It's
answer.
not incumbent. but-
Yeah, right. So I love all Muslims sincerely, right? I love them all. But I also recognize that there are some Muslims who are just dangerous. And they're dangerous because they buy into Islamic ideology.
They buy into what Islamist ideologies that makes them dangerous. What makes them dangerous?
Right. So what makes them dangerous? Let's be clear. It is not all Muslims I'm talking about. Have you registered that?
Not all Muslims that they talk about. Yes.
It's not all Muslims that I'm talking about. Have you registered that fact? Good. So what makes, no, not kind of, definitely. Yeah.
I've registered.
Yeah, there's no straw manning here. I'm not going to let you straw man me. I'm not going to let you stick me in a box. Yeah. So in terms of what makes some Muslims dangerous is that they believe in a system of law that would relegate me to a discriminated, persecuted, subject people, the dhimmi, right? And under that dhimmi, literally, literally it means protected. But what it means really is protected from Islamic State. So you pay your jizya, and then the Islamic State doesn't persecute you much, doesn't enslave you, doesn't kill you and take your property. That is what is dangerous about Islam, and that is what is dangerous about Muslims that believe in that dhimmitude. And those Muslims should be opposed. If you're one of those Muslims, I don't think there's a place for you in this country. I want you out of this country.
Because this country
If you're not one of those Muslims, if you reject that idea, then I think there is a place for you in this country. So do you reject the idea that I should be made a dhimmi, or do you want to see me as a dhimmi, a second-class citizen?
I don't think dhimmi exists anymore.
That's not answering the question. Do you want me to be made a
I don't
dhimmi?
know what dhimmi is. I've just learned about it from you.
Okay, so I'm teaching you Islam.
I think you're learning about
Are you not a Muslim?
I am not a Muslim. No.
You're not a Muslim. Okay, fair enough. So you deny that Muhammad is a prophet?
I deny that Muhammad was a prophet by definition of the word prophet.
He was. I mean, this sounds.
Prophet means a prophet to mankind, right? As in prophet, like he was a prophet.
No, not prophet. You know exactly, a messenger. A messenger.
I'm talking about, was he a prophet
No,
to mankind?
was he a messenger to
Was he
mankind?
a beneficiary?
No. Stop playing word games. You know exactly what I mean. Do you believe that Muhammad was a messenger to mankind?
Yes.
So you were a Muslim. Why are you pretending not to be a Muslim?
I'm saying because he made a message. That's why I call him a messenger.
Right.
He sent a message down to mankind.
So you believe that he's a messenger to mankind, but you're not a Muslim.
No, yes, I'm a Muslim. But not
So
by
why did you
definition-
pretend not to be a Muslim 2 minutes ago?
Not by definition of the word, because definition of word Muslim means a submitter to God.
These sophistic games, Dawaganda games, look ridiculous on camera, bro. Literally 2 minutes ago, you said to my face, you're not a Muslim. And now, 2 minutes later, you're saying you're a Muslim. You look silly right now. Just be plain speaking and honest, and you'll look less silly.
No, I'm not a Muslim.
You're not a Muslim. So you deny Muhammad as a messenger.
No, I don't deny Muslims.
So you accept that he is a messenger, but you don't follow his message.
No, I follow his message.
So you follow his message, you say he's a messenger, but you don't say you're a Muslim.
No, I follow like look, he says stuff about like don't steal, he says stuff about don't kill, he says stuff about don't walk in the I disagree with that one. He says stuff about
Okay, let's just leave it, bro. What's your name?
Ram.
Nice to meet you, Ramin. Right, Bob, as I'm sure you know. Let's just leave it, because it's neither here nor there whether you want to call yourself a Muslim or not, right? You're asking me about what makes some Muslims dangerous. I'm telling you that any Muslim, whether you are one or not, that wants to turn me into a second-class citizen as a dhimmi is a dangerous Muslim, and there should be no place in the United Kingdom for such people. They should all be driven out of our lands legally by the use of the law, not violently, not aggressively, but we need to change the law that says if you believe in dhimmitude, you're out, right? And only those Muslims or non-Muslims that say that they don't agree with dhimmitude and don't advocate for it should be able to stay. Now let me ask you a question. You say that Muhammad is a messenger, right? What would it take me to say to you to convince you Muhammad was not a messenger of God?
Tell me a fact of what he did that made him a diverter of the truth.
A diverter of the truth.
And you know what? The thing is, he's human.
Yeah, I know.
So the fact that he's human tells us that he sent down a message to mankind with the intention of a message to mankind, and that's how it's been reciprocated by billions of people. So for us to say no to that is denying the fact that us as people, we respect. It's evident.
Okay, so you've set me a fair challenge. So let me give you my response. Right? What can I offer to you to demonstrate that Muhammad is a diverter from truth? Right? From the truth. Okay. Firstly, let's establish what we mean by the truth. The truth is that description that matches reality. Agreed? So the truth is God exists. Reality is God exists. Truth is there's one God. Reality is there's one God. Truth is the leaves on the trees are green. The reality is the leaves of the trees are green. Do we accept that definition of the truth?
And in different shades of green.
Agreed. Yep.
And that reflects all of us as people.
Brilliant. Yes. Fine. Okay.
As in.
Well, that's I wouldn't. That's poetic. I'm just talking about descriptions that match reality. Now.
Okay. Sorry. We'll go back to that.
Yeah. So, here is a division between the message of the Quran and the message of Christianity. A very factual message. Christianity says Jesus was crucified. Islam says Jesus was not crucified. Do you agree both of those statements can't both be true?
Say that again, sorry.
So Christianity claims that Christ was crucified, yeah? Islam claims that that Christ was not crucified. Do you agree with me that both of those statements can't be true? Yeah. Do you agree that it can't be both night and day?
Yes.
Because those are contradictory statements.
Yes.
Right, well that's what we're looking at here. It's a contradictory statement. Christ can't be both crucified and not crucified. He either is or he isn't. So one of those statements is true and the other one is false. Agreed?
Christians
Yes.
celebrate.
Yes. Just getting a bit of fluff off your hood.
Christians celebrate the sadness of Christ, well, the death of Christ, while Muslims celebrate the positive aspects of Christ, and Christians celebrate the I'm unaware of the fact.
Do you what, sorry?
I'm unaware of the fact. I think.
Okay, so let me just tell you, In the Quran, it says in black and white, Jesus was not crucified. And in the Bible, it says in black and white, Jesus was crucified. These are two contradictory statements, like saying it is night or it is day. They can't both be true. Now, if there are two statements that contradict, say there's a fight in this park, right? And person A says person B hit me, and person B says person A hit me first. What's the policeman going to do?
He's going to arrest the one that I'm unaware. I'm a bit diverted by this.
Okay, so what the policeman's going to do is going to look for witnesses, and he's going to look to see what the witnesses say. And if all the witnesses say that person A was the one that punched person B, then that means that he's going to arrest person A. Agreed? Because that's how you do it. Like, if there's two conflicting claims, you look for other evidence.
That's true, yeah, but that just means that the justice system is a bit broken.
After him, you. Right?
That just means the justice system is a bit broken, because if person A can lie and person B can lie, and then they'll bring the solicitor on that can lie.
No, it's not a solicitor, it's a witness.
Or a witness.
Yeah.
A witness is a solid thing.
Correct.
However, you see, when we focus on the right aspects of the law, and not the, like, as in the not the articulated.
I'll come find you.
When we focus on the apparent and not the mind, and not our feelings and the truth of the matter is, and the reality of things, then we lose our point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But what I'm trying to say to you is that when we investigate something and we get contradictory information, we look for third sources of information to try and figure out the truth. That's what we always do.
All those words and jargons, they kind of
Well, they're not jargon. Have you got brothers?
In a weird bubble.
Have you got brothers?
I don't have brothers.
Brothers or sisters or sons or daughters, or like, if you're in a situation where two people are looking to you for a judgment and one person is saying something that contradicts the other person, right? You'd look for some third source of evidence to see who's telling the truth between the two contradictory persons, wouldn't you? Because that's just what we do.
Say that again?
Okay. It's all right. So if you are asked to adjudicate between two people that are making opposite claims, right? You're going to look for third evidence, right? That third evidence might be a videotape, it might be a recording, it might be another witness, it might be a book, it might be a reference, or it just might be your own eyes. Yeah? You might say, well, I'm sorry, I saw you do this. In which case, you're the third witness, right? Okay, right. And when it comes to what the Quran claims about the crucifixion and what the Bible claims about the crucifixion, we are in that situation. And when we look at third-party evidence, we have the third-party evidence. It was written by Roman pagans and it was written by Jews. Roman pagans who were persecuting Christians and Jews who were persecuting Christians. So not the friends of Christians. But those Roman pagans and those Jews agree with Christians that Christ was crucified.
Yes.
Right. Now, if pagans and Jews who are persecutors of Christians agree with Christians that Christ was crucified, then we have really good reason to know that Christ was crucified. And if Christ was crucified, Islam is false. The message of Islam is false because Muhammad has deviated from the truth, because the truth is a description of the reality, a description of what really happened. So that's your reason to see that Muhammad is not a messenger of Allah.
Say that last point again, just so I can...
Okay, yeah, because you said he's not a messenger of Allah if he deviates from the truth. And we said the truth is that which describes reality. The leaves are green, right?
And my point was about that.
No, hold on. I'm just going to the last bit. So, because pagan Romans and Jews, who are both persecuting Christians, agree with Christians that Christ was crucified, then that means when the Quran says Christ was not crucified, the Quran is false because it is not describing what really happened, so it's not describing the truth, which is by your standards showing that Muhammad is not a messenger telling the truth. Does that make sense? Yeah. Ramin, it was lovely talking to you. Have you got any other questions?
Yeah.
Go on.
No, it was lovely talking to you.
All right, let me just give you a gift, Ramin, just to show you that I really do love Muslims, and I have got no beef with them as people at all. So this is a Gospel of Mark for you. It's my gift to you. Have a read of it and come back and talk to me again. All right?